aftermath of India's recent military confrontations with Pakistan has revealed a web of concealment and misinformation that now threatens the credibility of the Indian government at home and abroad. Following the failure of Operation Sindoor and the resounding success of Pakistan's Operation Bunyan-ul-Mursus, New Delhi entered a phase of deliberate obfuscation, hiding critical battlefield losses from its own parliament, the Indian public, and the international media. For months, the Indian government delayed the convening of parliament sessions, evidently to avoid tough questions about the extent of its military setbacks and to control the narrative of the conflict. When the parliament finally convened recently, the opposition took a firm stand, relentlessly questioning the government on the real toll of the conflict. The opposition's intensity was reflected in one striking movement when the Congress chief of Punjab presented a photograph of a destroyed Rafale fighter jet marked with the serial number BS001 on the floor of Parliament. This tangible piece of evidence contradicted official government claims and served as a stark reminder of the scale of losses New Delhi was trying to suppress. This was not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of misinformation. Despite Pakistan's verified success in downing 6 Indian fighter jets, including 3 Rafales, 2 MiGs, and 1 Su-30, and destroying an S-400 missile battery, India's official channels initially denied these losses. These denials were sustained for over 2 months, a period during which Indian media repeatedly echoed government lines, often dismissing Pakistan's claims as propaganda. The complicity of the media in promoting these false narratives has eroded public trust. Polls conducted by independent agencies within India post-conflict reveal a significant decline in trust towards both government officials and mainstream media outlets. The misinformation campaign extended beyond military losses. The Indian government's narrative heavily leaned on the assertion that the US President Donald Trump had brokered a ceasefire, thus crediting external diplomacy for halting hostilities. However, Trump himself has repeatedly claimed at least 30 times since the conflict ended to have been the primary architect of the ceasefire. This has led to public contradictions, with opposition leaders like Rahul Gandhi daring Prime Minister Modi to deny Trump's statements outright. Such a challenge reveals the increasing desperation within the ruling party, which now finds itself ensnared in the very web of its own lies. Parliamentarians have increasingly pressed for accountability, challenging the government's unwillingness to reveal the true cost of the war. Questions have ranged from the number of personnel lost to the details of military hardware destroyed. Government responses have often been evasive, adding fuel to the fire of public discontent. This erosion of credibility is not merely a domestic issue, it has international implications as well. Global defense analysts and independent media outlets have verified Pakistan's claims with satellite imagery, eyewitness accounts, and confirmations from other states, including France, which acknowledged the loss of its Rafale jets. The Indian government's attempts to control the narrative have only exposed its diplomatic isolation and internal weaknesses. In contrast, Pakistan's handling of the conflict, marked by decisive action and timely disclosure, has bolstered its image as a resilient and transparent actor. Pakistan's military openly showcased its successes and acknowledged the challenges ahead, earning respect from both domestic and international observers. This approach has strengthened Pakistan's diplomatic position and enhanced its credibility as a regional power committed to truthful communication. As the Indian Parliament continues its sessions, the government faces mounting pressure to abandon misinformation tactics and embrace accountability. The questions posed by opposition members reflect a broader societal demand for truth and justice. How long can a government sustain a narrative disconnected from reality? How will the Indian public respond when confronted with undeniable evidence of the government's failures? This is Amara Farad Baloch and you are watching Nexus Bulletin.